Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Almost Brothers podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to maintain calm internally when everything externally is chaos. Coming up. Almost reminds me of a cheer. How's it going, Jay?
It's going good. How are you?
A little cheer going on. Not bad, not bad. How's your week?
Good. It was very good.
Good.
It's very busy, but very good.
Man, it has been cold too. Oh, I love it.
You love it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
It was a good week in football too.
Oh my gosh. I guess.
It was a good.
Congrats. So who they play coming up?
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Who just beat us a couple weeks ago, but it's playoffs.
That was
now.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's a different
now,
month.
It's at home.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with it, in a while. I kind of try to just eye it, but
Right.
I haven't watched the game. And
Yeah. Well, you missed a good one.
that's what I heard. Wasn't it overtime?
Yeah, but just there was like 25 points scored in the last minute, 35 seconds.
Yeah. See, and I've seen people talking about, should they change the overtime rules after that and all that. I'm like, oh Lord, here goes this.
It didn't matter. They
Right.
went down and scored a touchdown.
It's like, oh, here goes this.
You kind of knew on that coin flip, whoever gets the ball,
Right, it's over. That's
because
true.
They had been on. Both offenses were on fire, and the defenses were just wore out.
So, do you think both teams should have a chance at scoring?
I like the way they have it.
Kind of or just first one to score.
I like the way they have it. You mean if you
kind of like college,
you get a touchdown, they get a chance to score a touchdown.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, if my team would have been on the losing end of that, yeah.
right. Ask me again next year. That's funny. Yeah, because I believe in college that's what they do now is you both get a possession.
Yeah. You get a chance to
So you either match or you lose. Yeah. But I know that conversation was going on.
I'm
seen
sure,
that. So
I'm sure it was.
And then
I think people just wanted to see that keep going.
Right. Yeah.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
You want to stay? It's kind of like when you're playing basketball and they're like, "Oh, another game."
Yeah. It was pretty. It was exciting. The end of it. It was a emotional roller coaster.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. You sweating.
Yeah. It was crazy.
That is funny. So who else is left?
The two California teams.
Oh,
the 49ers and the Rams. And the Super Bowl is going to be at SoFi Stadium. So,
cool. Okay.
At the Rams Stadium. So there's going to be a California team playing the Super Bowl in their home state. Maybe their home state.
And I know it's been a long time since a team's played in their own stadium in the Super Bowl. So that'd be
last
interesting.
year, the Tampa Bay won it at home.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's what I was thinking. It's crazy.
Okay.
Almost back-to-back
Right.
years that you can have.
I just knew Brady won another one, but I didn't know what stadium
I stopped
they were in.
even counting.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like I had an argument with one of the students at school. I think. Hold the phone.
Gosh.
I think that Tom Brady is the greatest athlete to ever live. I think that he is officially passed Jordan as the greatest athlete of all time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
And I love Jordan, but
I mean, yeah.
I think it's much harder to win in a sport where you only play one side of the ball. So you have to be perfect in your job as opposed to being able to do something, so which I know it's two different sports, two different eras, but
I mean, he is undoubtedly the best quarterback to ever live.
oh man, like when people still try to have
the
an argument,
longevity of him. I mean, what is he, like 58 years old still?
right. And to be able to go to when he went to Tampa Bay and won that year, like that just is
and
crazy.
even the numbers he put up this year.
Yep.
I mean, where he set personal best
Yep.
this year.
Yeah.
But there was an extra game in the season, so
Oh gosh. Yeah. But yeah,
no, just, he's good. That's for sure.
Yeah. I just try to, kind of, I'll see stuff on YouTube, or I'll look on like social media and see who's doing what and all that. But this has been a slow couple years of sports for me.
Yeah.
Too political.
Yeah.
That's really what started happening. I'm just tune out. Like, no, I'm not trying to. That's not what I come to sports for.
That's really all I watch anymore. I don't even keep up with basketball at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you play golf. Do you watch golf? Like, do you actually?
If I really want to take a good nap.
Yeah.
There's just something about the way they talk.
Oh, man. Right.
Like,
it kills me. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just lay there. You're like, oh, I can go to sleep.
Yeah.
I do. I watch a little bit of it. I haven't watched any lately. I just don't have time, but yeah, I can watch.
See, I didn't know if like you get pointers from watching, like, I used to do basketball.
All I get from watching golf is how horrible I am at it.
All right. I feel really bad about myself.
No, I mean, I guess you can see what works for others, but I don't have the ability to do any of that.
That is so funny.
And I'm okay with it.
And I'm fine with it. It's fine. I'm going to play with you this year.
You should.
We're going to get out there and play.
Yeah, I think I've even got Pastor talked into going out and playing around the golf.
Dude, I'm horrible. Oh, it's bad. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
Well, maybe we'll go early in the year. That way I haven't played it all.
Right. And then I try, the gap's a little bit closer. That'd make me feel better. I appreciate that.
I'm very concerned with how you feel.
Good looking out. Yeah. It's
I want you to go again, So.
Oh, man.
I don't even anybody that ever golfs with me. My wife, she likes to golf with me sometimes, but.
See, me and Jamie went one time and she'll never go again.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
I think my wife likes to just be on the cart in the sun, more than really playing golf, but she will. Yeah. She'll swing the clubs.
So that's kind of how I was. Like, I'd sit out there and just kind of, man, this is nice. This is nice. And then I'm throwing golf clubs across the course because I suck. Good
all
time.
That serenity.
Oh, just right out the window. And then now I'm back in the cart just mad. This is stupid. But yeah, well, that'll segue us right into keeping an inner calm.
That was good.
When you're on the golf course, just talking about keeping an inner calm when all chaos is going on. I was just kind of thinking today about, the small C that's still going on, and just kind of how we're all over it. And it's, a couple of years of this and dealing with all that, and just kind of the world in general and how everything is going. How do you maintain that inner peace while everything around you is kind of going nuts? And, it's kind of like, you turn on the news, or you watch a show or whatever, and it's like everything is negative. Like I never remember, growing up, like everything being this negative all the time. Like I understand, there was still stuff going on, mid 90s, early 2000s, but, and I know the rise of social media kind of puts it to where we all know about it more. Like it's in our faces more, but good Lord, dude, it feels like it's just all negative all the time. So I just want to talk about how you personally keep that inner peace, and then also how, as the leaders of our families, like how do we kind of keep that inner peace in our homes as a whole, in the midst of, maybe all the struggle and kind of uncertainty about, our economy or whatever may be going on. Like, so we'll just start with personally, like what are some of the things that you're able to do to kind of maintain that inner just chill, in the midst of chaos.
Inner chill.
Yeah, inner chill.
Man, I don't know. I know we got to be anchored. I know we have to be on that solid foundation, which is Jesus Christ, in him. But I shouldn't say but. I don't want to negate what I just said, because that's the truth.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, turning off social media was huge for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes if we're just getting bombarded with negativity, you have to, kind of protect yourself.
That's good. Yeah.
I haven't like deleted my Facebook or anything like that, but I rarely get on there anymore, just because I got so sick of, reading things that would just kind of, without even really thinking about it, it would change my mindset and just kind of the way I was feeling.
Yeah.
When you get on there and you see it's just like one hit after another. man, and if when you get away from it, you realize how much it was dragging you down.
Right.
If you continue to look at it, you don't really, it's just the norm. But once you've kind of shut that off for a while, you're like, my goodness, I wish I'd have done this a year ago.
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
good.
But also to keep that peace inside. And I don't know, I think sometimes I'm almost calm on the outside, but inside I'm just like a lot going on.
That's what that's what I was going to ask too. Just kind of, just sometimes you have to put on a front because you are internally kind of like, oh my goodness, like what is going on?
I think that's the case for me a lot. Is I don't want to show how much is going on inside, because there is a lot going on. When you have kids and work and working in ministry and just all the stuff that we deal with on a regular basis, if I showed everything that was on, if everybody could see inside of me, they would know there's a lot more going on. But I think in that though, we learn to rely on God more. I love that. I don't get me wrong here. I don't want to quote it wrong, but I think it's FDR, maybe not, but it says that, that a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor.
Oh, that's good.
And I love that, because it's like the more things that's going on around you, and you learn how to navigate that, and you learn how to, you learn how to operate each day controlled and with your feelings in check. And the more you do that, regardless the storm going on around you, I think that you just get better at it,
Yeah.
And that all comes from having your focus on Jesus, just like Peter when he walked on the water, when he got his eyes off Jesus and focused on the storm, he began to sink.
That's good.
And then he got his eyes back on Jesus and popped back up, topwater jig.
Topwater jig.
It's kind of the same thing for us.
Yeah.
We got to keep our focus on Jesus, and we got to rely on him, and we got to stand on him.
Did you say FDR?
I think so.
That's who it was.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. That's good. I've never heard that. That's good. And so true, man. I know I wanted to, you hit on something so good. I wanted to ask you about, do you think like as a man, especially, in our society, do you think it's almost harder, more difficult to allow your emotions to be shown, because you're looked at as you shouldn't, you should be hard, you should be strong, you should be steadfast, and it almost makes you not want to show those emotions that you're going through, and therefore making it even harder for you to kind of deal day to day. I think that's good. It's like, I can't remember the statistic, but I know, a good amount more men commit suicide every year. And I think it has a lot to do with this internal struggle that they deal with, that they have no avenue to be able to express this stuff that they're going through, because they're working and they're trying to provide, and they're trying to, to raise kids, and they're trying to be a good man, and they're trying to have a good marriage. And it's like, there's almost an expectation of us not to falter and just be the one that can take everything on. And at some point, I think that we get so heavy with that stuff that internally we begin to break. And nobody around us knows. We put on this good front and this mask of we've got it together and we're doing fine, but on the inside we're dying.
Yeah,
literally dying.
Absolutely. And I think that's very important that we have a release for that. Whether it just be, just having one good friend to be able to talk to.
Yeah.
Get that stuff out. I know we have our wives, and we, I'm very open, and I share with my wife, but sometimes, you need somebody outside of that you can vent to, and not about your wife or about anything. It's just what's going on with you as a man. You know, sometimes you just need another guy to talk to that, man, I'm struggling.
Right.
And just releasing that and letting that out. Normally I feel better. I don't have to, sometimes I go to the altar and cry, and that works.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just give it all to God. Like, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do this, and give it to God. But there's just a lot of things we can do, because we have to deal with that. Undealt with in us is going to lead us to destruction. And then everything does start, like you said, it does start crumbling from the inside out.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, man. I was reading about, Jesus, when he went to the garden and he went to pray, he took his disciples, he took the 12 disciples, and then he broke apart from them, and then he took the 3, and the Bible says that he he sat down with him and he said, y'all, I just need y'all to be here with me. You know, because I think a lot of times we tell people, oh, just take it to the cross, just put it at the cross. And I think we underplay the importance of having people around us that we can go to just be there with us in the midst of that, of these moments, you know. And it says that Jesus took the three and he said, I just need y'all to be here with me. I feel like I'm dying right now, you know, as he went to pray, and he had, you know, his three, and then he had his one that went with him, that got away and went with him just to be with him in that moment. You know, and to help him through this stress and this anxiety and this thing that he's going through, that, you know, the Bible says that he prayed so hard and he was under so much stress that he sweat like huge drops of blood. And it's like, sometimes I think we downplay that. Oh, just get over it. Just give it to the Lord in prayer. Just, you know, it's like, yes, we do those things, but also we need those people, like you said, around us to be able to go to and say, hey, like, I'm dealing with some stuff on the inside. Will you just be here with me? Will you be an ear to listen, or maybe some advice to give me on maybe how I can get through this? And I think that so many men don't have that avenue of somebody that they trust, that they know is not going to judge them or to look at them badly because, hey, I'm struggling with, because we all got stuff that nobody knows about, that we're scared to death to tell anybody. Like, they might look at me like I'm a horrible person, or, right. But we all struggle with these things. The inside is eating us up.
Yes.
And I think that, you know, anybody out there that may be listening, you need to find somebody, one person, two people that you can trust, that you can confide in and say, hey, I need you to just be here with me in the midst of this.
Right.
You know, to really trust and lean on, man. It's so important.
And I think a good rule of thumb here is you need to find that somebody and you need to be that somebody.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Because it's easy to find somebody who's kind of going through the same thing we are and then kind of get sucked down together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we need to find somebody that is strong while we're weak.
Yeah.
And has been there, went through it. And we just got to take time for people. You have to make time for people.
Yeah.
Because when you're not struggling, it's not as serious then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're not feeling that way, but you have to be there for other people who are in a position where maybe you used to be, or maybe you're going to be, or, you know,
yeah.
and just be there for them. And I feel sorry for people that don't have anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fortunate to have, you know, a lot of good friends and a lot of good people in my corner. And, you know, in my job, I run across a lot of folks who don't have anybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, legitimately don't have anybody. And that, to me, that's a horrible place to be.
Yeah.
You know, and so, man, even if it's just for that 1 hour that I get to talk with them,
yeah.
You know, I just want to be there for them. And I think we need to take that outside, you know, into real world,
yeah.
You know, situations more. Because it takes time to sit down and listen to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, you know, you're like, man, that's the last thing I want to do is sit down and listen to somebody's negativity.
Right.
But it's not negativity if it's just them, you know, pouring out their heart, wanting some healing. And that's what it's all about. Christ would offer people healing,
yeah.
You know, with whatever's going on with you, deliverance.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a stronghold or whatever it is, we're to help them through that.
Right.
And part of that is showing them Jesus and showing them that they can be healed.
Yeah.
Of whatever it is.
And some people just need some guidance, man. Just like somebody to which road do I need to take? I don't know what to do.
Wise counsel.
Right.
Yes, wise counsel.
And it's like, it's almost like we've lost sight of what we're here for, is to help the next person reach their potential, reach where God has for them, reach something that God's got in store for them that they don't know how to get there. They know there's something better. They don't know what and how to get there. You know, maybe they didn't have a father growing up, or somebody, you know, maybe they had a father that sucked, that was just a horrible dad, that didn't show them the way to get there. You know, and instead we look at people and we say, oh, they're a lost cause, as opposed to, hey, what can I do to help? You know, and we again, I think as Christians, where we fell short is a lot of times we do, oh, just leave it at the altar. And then we leave it there. There's no guidance, there's no help, there's no direction given, because we want to, oh, we'll just give it to the Lord. Okay, that's great. But then they have to get up and walk into the real world. You know, some people weren't raised in church. They don't know how to pray. They don't know how to go about reading their Bible. They don't know, you know, how to talk to God, how to get direction. And we need to be there to counsel them and to help them understand Like, hey, you may be going through some stuff still. You may have left it at the altar, but there's still some stuff there that maybe I can help you work through, or maybe we can, find direction for you. Yep. And I think that we've got to step up, especially as leaders in the church and as people that God has appointed in positions to be able to do that. It's important, man. It's so important. I think the church, we almost look at, and it's the church as a whole, is we almost look at people as what can we get out of you, as opposed to what can we put in you. What can we get? Oh, yeah. Oh, we'd love to have you a part of our church because, he's a good speaker and he knows how to do this, and he can run sound. Instead of going, hey, what can we do to help push you, to help lift you up, to help give you a place, a breeding ground for you to just flourish. We say, well, you could flourish as long as we're flourishing first. Instead of, hey, what can we do to you? How can we serve you? How can we help you? And I think it's got a lot of people that they come into church and they look for help, they look for direction, and they don't get it, and they walk right out the door.
Man, that's good. And you said something there about leadership that made me remember what I was just thinking about with your initial question. As leadership, you don't want to appear weak, or you don't want to appear like you have flaws.
Yeah.
And that stinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're human, you know, and man, it's not fair to have to walk around with things bottled up and putting on a mask that says you're okay whenever, you really are struggling.
Yeah.
But we got ourselves in that position where you don't want to let that cat out of the bag.
Dude, that is it's so good. So you're right on point, dude. It's crazy. Get out my message. That's what. So I wrote this down today. I literally wrote this down January 27th at 9:00 this morning. I wrote, sometimes pastoring, leadership, being a boss, fill it in. Sometimes pastoring becomes a uniform. People wouldn't like the real us.
Wow.
People, they expect you to act a certain way, have it all together, do these things. And I think that we fall into this very, very dangerous, bad habit of putting on a facade because it's what other people expect. We push all these things that we're dealing with down because I can't show that. I can't be real. God forbid you be real and say, hey, y'all, guess what? I've got problems. I've got things that I've got to work on. I've got mess ups that I've got to work on every day. And I think that when people do get put in that position, that's why pastors are quitting daily. That's why, pastors are dealing with addiction and dealing with all these other things because they've got stuff on the inside. They can't tell anybody because people will walk out of the church and throw them away in a second if they knew some of the stuff that people struggle with. It's like, I'm as human as you are. Just because you got a piece of paper with your name on it that says pastor or evangelist or whatever it may be, doesn't mean you don't deal with stuff. Doesn't mean you're not struggling on the inside with stuff going on. So I think that we cannot allow ourselves as any kind of leader to fall into that where you just put on this facade. I just need to make it through the day. Everybody's looking at me. I need to make sure I'm perfect and got it all together, because you're hurting yourself. And eventually that on the inside is going to break you. It really is, man. And it's so, if you're dealing with something, find somebody you can confide in and be real with, be raw with. Of course, go before the Lord, take it to the Lord, but have some people around you that you could say, hey, man, I'm broke and I just need you to be here with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
And as men, we have to swallow our pride and do that.
Yeah.
Because our pride is going to hold us back from doing those things that can save our life, that can, how about not necessarily save our life, but it can redirect our life.
That's good.
You know, we may already be going in a okay direction, but we want to go in a God direction.
Yeah.
We want everything that God has for us, those plans that he has laid out for us to do before we even have thought. We want to walk in those, we want to walk in that purpose and in his, what he has for us, and the way we do that is, man, we got to be at like one with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds weird. It's not like a Buddhist thing. Home. But, we gotta be so connected to him and so intimate with him that we know exactly what he wants us to do at all times. And I know he wants us to share our stuff with others. He tells us to, tells us to confess our sins to one another, and to confide in people, and, just be, use wisdom in that. Make sure you're talking to the right people, and, you don't want to share things with somebody who's going to, use it against you.
Right.
But, man, I would pray for all my listeners that you have somebody that you can trust and you can talk to, and you don't have to do this alone, because doing it alone, man, that's where the enemy can have a heyday with you.
Oh yeah.
When you're isolated and you feel like you're all alone, that's where the enemy wants you.
Yep. Oh yeah. Man, that's good. End it there. Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Don't really drop, man. Just smack it off the table. That's funny.
Well,
So, Jeremiah, what you got coming up? Anything coming up?
Anything coming up?
Anything coming up?
Not really. I got some
crazy.
I'm gonna build a shower.
No, but nice.
Yeah, well, it's not my shower. It's for somebody else.
Okay. It ain't mine.
But, no, it's good. It'd be a little side job.
That's
I'm
what's
excited
up.
about it.
Heck yeah.
Get to work with Caleb, and
I was wondering, like, do you still do jobs like that?
I
Like
have
a lot. I know
not
you've been busy.
but he's like, "You want to come and work on your days off?" And I'm sure. Yeah, sure.
Just what I wanted to
Exactly
do.
what I want to do.
Absolutely.
No, it'd be good. It'd be a blessing. It's coming at a good time.
That's what's up, man.
So what about you?
Man, nothing. Just work and kids, and
How's school?
it's going good. It's going good. I'm not at SEMO right now. I took this semester off.
Oh,
so
you did?
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Man, dude, they wanted me in Cape 4 days a week.
Ooh.
I was like, there's no way I've got a job. There's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
So we're kind of taking this semester off. I'm gonna go summer, and then because I've got 2 more semesters, so I would have had this one and one more, and I would have been done. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just gonna take it off and then try to do some on the summer, and then go back next. Hopefully, we'll see how it works out. If not, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but we're trying, man. Yep. But how's yours going?
Good.
Back at you're full time, right?
Yep. I got all my got all the like general education stuff out of the way and all the electives. So
yeah,
I'm just like getting to focus on the
good stuff,
the meat and potatoes.
Right. It's like and it's so much. I won't say easy because it's not easy, but it's so much better when you're in content that oh man, like this is what I'm going for.
Right.
This is what I want to learn.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh hey, you got to do this class on how socks were made.
Yes. Yeah, I've got 3 psychology classes this semester, and they all it all just blends together well, and then I'm taking a criminal justice class, but that's my minor.
Fun.
I made that my minor.
That's cool. Yeah, that'd be fun.
It
goes with what you're doing, though.
Get to deal with a lot of people that have been in the system, and man, a big thing for me, more specifically, is because I don't want to be a cop.
Yeah,
but I want to help with community-based corrections, which is people that are on probation and parole and getting released from prison or whatever and back into society.
Right.
I want to have so I don't know. I don't really know what God's got in mind there, but I do believe that there has to be more things done to kind of slow down that revolving door that is our prisons and jails, because it seems like people get in the system and they can't get out of that sometimes.
Yeah.
And so there's got to be some things, in place that you can help people along treatment after, they get out, things they can do to kind of slow down that.
So you think about maybe like working with say somebody's going to court and kind of they have that option of, you can go, work with somebody, a counselor, or, do.
Well, yeah, a lot of it will be, I think it'll be with like probation and parole directly. Where they have to, if they're required to go see a counselor or attend some sort of group or something, get some sort of aftercare treatment, kind of involved like that.
Cool.
Just, sit down with them, help them get jobs, which used to be a huge thing, but now it's like, most places, felony's not the end of the world anymore.
Yeah.
You were used to, it really was. It really limited you on what you could do, but that's becoming kind of less and less of a deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just helping people find housing and find a job and just be a productive citizen. And find God in the middle.
Yeah.
In the middle of that.
You'd be amazed at how that could change your life. Like crazy.
And there's just not a lot out there. It's either through the state or, it's totally like in church. And so in my heart's desire is to kind of blend those things.
Yeah.
We want to help them with in more areas than just, we want to help them spiritually. You know what I'm saying? That's the key to me.
Yeah.
Want to help them out.
Oh yeah. And just realize their worth. Yeah. Once you realize your worth, it's like, oh man, you want to get a job, or you want to get a house, and you want to get these things because it feels good. It feels good to, to have something that you're striving for, and to have, what do you want to be in 5 years? Right. Where do you want to be in life? So that's just awesome, man.
Yeah. It's really encouraging when you see somebody, it's almost like Paul talks about the scales falling from his eyes.
Yeah.
It's like when they get it, when something clicks, there's nothing more refreshing than that to me.
Yeah.
Because then they're like on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you got like a young new Christian, and they don't know where to go, what to do. And then you get to kind of come along beside. And like you were saying earlier, that discipleship that we need to really step up our game in, and being a part of that is awesome.
Yeah.
Because you get to see, you get to see them, because the gospel, in a nutshell, with everything we know, Christ cross, all that he done for us, and to reconnect us with him. I mean, that all the work's been done. Now he just wants us to do our part,
right,
which is tell other people.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? It's simple. It's so simple.
Yep.
But when you see somebody get it and understand it, and then they want to share it with somebody else, you're like, okay, they got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you receive this gift of salvation and receive Jesus, and you just want to keep it to yourself, I don't think you really got it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean? Yeah. Oh, that's
there's
good. Yeah.
Something that should be burning inside of you to say, man, I want to tell this my neighbor. I want to tell this person. I want to tell this person. And that to me is cool to see people who get it, and then they want to give it.
Yeah. And to be a part of that, to be a hands-on part
Absolutely.
of that. That's so cool.
And in a perfect world, we get to do it every day, and every day would just be, woo.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Right.
But when you got to really celebrate those small, those times that it does happen. Just be, I'm trying to be grateful about it, and I'm very thankful for it. But
oh yeah.
Anyway, it's just cool.
It's good stuff, man.
All good things. God is good. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for joining us. This has been the Almost Brothers podcast with Michael and Jeremiah. Remember, if you don't have a home church, come check us out at the Lighthouse in Dexter, 8:30 outside in the parking lot in the cold, 10 o'clock inside where it's warm.